Ooh, welcome back, everybody. It is Friday. It is November the 28th, 2025, the day after Thanksgiving. Just swing out here and let you see that the weather has finally decided to join in and say, let there be snow. And it has been snowing for about the last 18 hours, just a light, gentle snow, slowly accumulating, but yes, it's starting to feel a lot like the holidays. So we have a new guitar here. This guitar was ordered on the 13th of December, or excuse me, November. Well, December, that would be we're getting a guitar from the future or the past. And this was ordered from AliExpress, and it came from China, and they actually shipped it the next day and put it on a plane, and so it's been traveling for the last 10, 11 days and arrived today. I'm going to spare you because this thing is wrapped up pretty tight, so I'm going to go ahead and do most, if not all, of the removing of the tape, and then we'll come back as we open up the box. This is a Rickenfaker. It's from a company called, gee, the name escapes me at the moment, but anyways, this is a replica, a reproduction of a Rickenbacker 360F. This is sort of their version of like an ES335, a semi-hollow. Yeah, and it wasn't a very popular guitar because they didn't make many of them, so it just sort of fell back, but it looked cool, looked interesting. So we'll be back with, yes, we'll be back. Well, they probably thought they were doing a swell job, but this is about as cheesy and sleazy as it gets. I don't recall ever seeing another guitar with a more cheesy, let's just throw bits and pieces, and I have no idea if this thing survived its trip, but this is really a miserable packing job. Yeah, I mean really, just look at this. This is absolutely ridiculous. Let's just throw bits and pieces. If this survived the trip, I'm going to be pretty amazed. Yeah, these guys got to get it together. The company's called Ace Pro. They look like they're semi-together. But I mean, this is a freaking disaster. Like, I'm going to take just some photographs. Just, you know, and then I'm going to have to deal with the blowback of all this styrofoam crap everywhere. Not impressed, Ace Pro. Okay, and then after all that, if this thing comes out and it's like shattered, and I mean, this is just really not good. Not good. This feels very unprofessional. Your competitors are doing a much better job. we are going to let it acclimate for a little while. It looks nice. So we'll be back. Welcome back, everybody. It is still Friday, November the 28th, 2025. A little later in the afternoon, we brought this guitar in. We unpacked it. It's pretty chilly today, so we gave it a couple hours to just acclimate. And it's up to room temperature and seems to be doing just fine. No worse for the wear. As noted in the earlier part of the unboxing, the packaging of this was absolutely the worst that I've ever seen. But that being said, it made it in one piece, so apparently whatever they did served the purpose. But from a cosmetic point of view, it was just absolutely a hot mess, as they like to say. Just random chunks of styrofoam stuffed into the box in various locations and bubble wrap. And so yeah, I would say to Ace Pro, get it together, do a more professional job. Plus, unpacking that box was an absolute joke as well. Anyways, so overall, pleased with this guitar. I think they're a little overpriced. I say that just based on, I realize that a semi-hollow, this is a mostly hollow guitar. It has a little block down in here. I can't really see how far it goes because my finger, but there's like a block right here just to hold on to the bridge. But this is all hollow. So I realize that a little more work goes into making these guitars, but similar guitars like the Grote Jazz guitar with the single P90 on it, that's in the $200 range. This one cost me $275. It's reasonable. I mean, again, I would have rather paid a little bit less, but you know, for the most part. Build quality is actually quite good. I went over it. It has the, I'm sure it's just a decal, but it has the Gretsch, they call it the checkerboard binding on the front and the back. Nice wood. I'm guessing this is a 3-piece, 4-piece, 5-piece, unless they just painted it, which is possible that they did. I have another one of these Rickenfakers that has this lighter wood. I have no idea what it is. I prefer the darker, but again, just a cosmetic thing. I did adjust the truss rod a little bit. Seems to be not much tension. I don't know what the gauge of the strings is. But you have to be very careful that these don't pop out of the saddle groove. The fret ends are a little sharp. That could just be the transference from coming all the way from China 14 days ago, 13, 14 to 28. Yeah, 14, 15 days ago, this was sitting in mainland China. So it's had a long trip, traveled many miles, let it settle in for a while, but overall, I'm quite pleased. Pickups are a little anemic, and what are you going to do? I mean, again, it's just part and parcel. I don't know whoever did the knobs put them on at a weird orientation. I tried to pull it off. Okay, well these came off. This one didn't want to come off for some reason. I didn't want to break it. There it goes. So I will correct that. But yeah, overall it's a nice guitar, and it's unusual. And again, like I said, I didn't do a whole lot of investigation, but the 360F, and they also had a 370F that had the third pickup. Just not common guitars. Again, I'm guessing they weren't popular. When a guitar is popular, they make lots of them, and when they're not popular, they don't. I wish they would have put a jack plate here. I don't know why they don't, but they didn't. But anyways, overall, it's an interesting guitar. I will be back in a week or two with more comments, more playability. The strings were very dirty, so they gave me the black finger treatment. But so far, pretty sweet. So we will be back. Hope everyone's having good holidays, and we'll talk to you soon. Welcome back, everybody. Yes, it is. It is December the 25th, 2025. It's Christmas Day. I have had this guitar now, tomorrow I believe, 3 weeks. This is the imitation, replica, whatever you choose to call it, of a Rickenbacker 360F. And the F is important because it's a totally different guitar than the 360. It's a single cutaway, it's flat, it's not an arch top in any way, stretch, or form. My understanding is they made two versions of this guitar. In the late 50s they had a version which was a thicker body. Then they discontinued that. They came back in the late 60s again. None of this is facts. This is just what I've been able to pick up. They came back in the late 60s. They did another version of this guitar, the thin body. I don't know if, and then they had different configurations. One has the controls here, one had controls here. The other thing, I believe that they had a 370F, which was a 3 pickup model, incredibly rare. You can't even find one. And the original ones are just very expensive. So anyways, this one, very reasonable. I don't know who the maker is. They don't advertise the maker. It's just, off the shelf. They actually did a nice job. I don't know if it's true. It looks like it's a 3, 4, 5 piece, but that could just be, someone drew that for all I know. But the wood's nice. The craftsmanship on this guitar is actually very nice. I did not realize that this specific guitar and other versions of Rickenbackers back in the day actually came with the gold-tinted pickguard. I thought that was just some aftermarket, but yeah, apparently they do. And it's got the checkerboard binding, which I'm sure is just, a piece of tape. I'm sure it's not real checkerboard binding. I don't know if the original was. This guitar is mostly hollow. The fretboard is interesting because it's not quite as dark as the other ones, but it's okay. It's sort of like a chocolate milk. Again, the build quality on this guitar, keeping, being reasonable about the price, is really nice. The tone wasn't exactly what I was hoping for, but I'm cheap. I haven't put different strings on it. That could make a big difference. I felt like it's just a little brittle is the best way that I would describe it, but that could be an issue that's resolved with a string change. We'll have to see about that. I have another one of these identical to this model-wise, except for it's in the, I guess it would be the maple glow. And I was able to add a custom feature, which is the 5th Rickenbacker knob, which this one never came with, but I asked them to wire it in as a master volume like the other Rickenbackers just to make mine unusual. So it's on its way. Probably won't be here for another month. When it shows up, if it's equal or better in quality than this one, I will end up selling this one because obviously I don't need two. But if it's not, I'll keep this one. This isn't really my jam, as they say, color-wise. The red's a little bright. This is almost a clownburst, which again isn't a bad thing. Some people love them. For me, it's just a little too dramatic. But yeah, they did a really nice job. I mean, all things considered, when you look at the price point, they did a nice job. So I just wanted to put a period at the end of the sentence. Again, this is as they call them, some people call them Chickenbackers. I'd rather call it a Rickenfaker, but either way, it's an imitation, it's an homage. You can't really call it a rip-off because they do a few things that are slightly different. The headstock shape's slightly different. This one does not have the knockoff Rickenbacker truss rod cover on it. You'd have to be pretty hard-pressed to think this is a real Rickenbacker, so I don't think anyone's going to... And again, I wasn't going to spend... Well, they don't make these anyway, so I couldn't buy one from Rickenbacker anyways, but there's a used one out there for like $13,000. Wasn't in the market for that. So this is not taking any money away from Rickenbacker at all, because I wasn't going to buy one of theirs, and I opted for the cheaper version. So hopefully they understand that, and in some ways it's, maybe you like the guitar so much you think, wow, I really would like the real one. I think I'll hustle up another, I don't know what they would sell these for if they made them again, but they'd probably be $2,000, $2,500 if it was made in America, and I just don't think I'm going to go there. So anyways, Rickenfaker 360F in, I guess you would call this Fireglo. Their colors have always really, really interesting. Thank you for joining us. Hope you have a Merry Christmas, and Yes, a Happy New Year. 2026 is just a week away. Hard to believe. Thank you very much. This obviously will be the last video of this year, and we'll be back with the Maple Glow, and then I have another little oddball guitar that's supposed to be coming in also sometime in early January. So we will see you then. Take care. Goodbye.